So I wanted to talk about how awakening is the cure for suffering and how awakening is not to be forced or rushed or made happen, but instead allowed to arise within us when we're ready. And the reason why awakening is the medicine, is the cure for suffering, is because it will shift your state of consciousness. It will shift your way of being the world, the way of seeing the world, the way how you live your life and everything. And as a collective, when we awaken more as a collective of humanity, we'll all understand. We will all not specifically agree on the same things. We'll still have our differences, but we'll be able to see each other for who we truly are and as one rather than all these separate beings. So if we look at, okay, what is awakening? Awakening is when you go through a shift in consciousness. You awaken to who you truly are. So first, when we come into this life, this earth experience as a human, we wanted to have this illusion of separation. We wanted to almost put like a veil over us to perceive that we were separate from Source, God, the divine, separate from other people, separate from the earth, the land, the animals. And so as humans, we had this sense of self, this identity, this personality that we've taken on, which through our human conditioning and programming, and also parts of who we are as a soul, has sort of formed us into this identity. And so when you go through a spiritual awakening, you discover that that's not who you truly are. You discover that you're so much more. That you're so much more than just a body. You're a spirit. You remember your divinity. You remember your multidimensionality. But most importantly, you remember your oneness with everything, your oneness with Source and all beings, that there is this connection and that there truly is no separation here, but that was part of the game. That was part of coming into a lower dimensional reality. We chose to have that experience, Source wanted to know, what would we do if we came here and forgot who we are? Would we awaken? Would we remember? Would we be able to be on that ascension journey of raising up into the higher dimensions if we came here? And that's what it's all about, remembering the love that we are. And so throughout our life we will awaken, if we're meant to in this lifetime. So even though we are one, we are also all unique aspects of Source consciousness. We are all our own kind of unique soul in the one Source consciousness. And we're here to express and embody our unique essence and go forth following our heart and our inner guidance and what intentions we set pre-birth, following that for the expansion of our soul and for Source. And so throughout our life there will be different moments of awakening. There will be your first initial one, and a true awakening will really shift your life completely. It's like you'll be seeing through new eyes. And then from then on, from that first awakening, there'll be this process of, I don't want to say healing because you're always whole, it's just a process of integration. So things will be arising within you that will battle what you now know, that you are one and that you are love and all of that. And there'll be this almost resistance and situations and emotions arising. And all of these things are for you so you can integrate it, so you can bring love to it. There may have been things that you have suppressed or rejected or denied. And that's normal to do if you believe in separation. And so when you recognize oneness, it's recognizing and seeing yourself in all things. And so you would not want to harm another person, you would not to starve the planet of its resources and all of that. You would look at them and see the God in them, regardless of what they may appear to look like, what they may be doing. You see the God in them, you see beyond what they may be appearing as, and you see them for who they truly are. A part of you, a part of Source, and a being of love, having their own unique experience on the earth, just like you are. And there was a time when you weren't awake to who you truly were either, and so you also can recognize, hey, I've been asleep, I've been doing things unconsciously because I didn't know who I was. Little did I know that those things I was doing was acting out from that pain or that fear or that separation that I felt to connect to something, to remind me of who I was, but I didn't realize it until you go through an awakening. And then I was like, oh, it's myself, it's my soul, it's my heart, it's my love, it's my connection to Source and my own divinity that I was looking for all along. And so you can see how one person awakening can then cause such a shift in the collective consciousness. Because as a collective, we all had this collective mission to come to Earth and awaken and ascend. And so we have such a profound effect on the collective consciousness just by going through our own awakening. And then that can ripple out to your family, to your friends, those in your community, those that you meet in your life. And at first it may seem like no one understands, and it's really important to know that everyone will awaken in divine timing with their soul. Everyone is being guided in their life to connect to their heart, to remember who they are. And it is really up to us as an individual human. We've been given free choice, and we can't override the soul expression of another. We can't control another person. We can't awaken another person. It's only us. And so be patient with everyone's progress. If no one has awakened around you yet, that is okay. You have, and you see them for the truth of who you are. You see them on their unique journey. And it's really having compassion for yourself. And so what the earth and humanity is going through at the moment is this big collective awakening. A lot of people are getting triggered. Things are happening around the earth. People are affected on a global scale, and that is causing this awakening. Almost like you can't deny or suppress or stop it any longer, but know that we're all being guided to awaken. If I had my first spiritual awakening in 2016. I was about 22, just turned 23. And now looking back, I could see the signs, I could see my intuition trying to talk to me before that happened, but I was just not aware, not conscious. And so I did have to hit rock bottom before I could surrender and open up and allow the awakening to happen within my consciousness. And sometimes that's what happens. We have to hit rock bottom if we're not operating from this place of consciously tuning in and going within. And a lot of us have not been taught to do that. So how do we know how to do that? We've never been taught how to process our emotions, how to listen. Even that this human conditioning and programming about who we think we are isn't really who we think we are. So it's such a unfolding and unlayering that we have to go through. And so you can imagine that the more and more people awaken, the effect on human society, the way we live, the way we be, the way we interact, on the earth will be so different. We will allow nature and the environment to flourish. We want it to thrive. We will care for one another. We'll have so much more compassion and love and understanding and honoring our uniqueness. There will be so much more harmony and community instead of all this is me, this is you, we're separate, scared of giving, this real separation that we experience in today's world. It will be a lot different, and it will be beautiful, and we have to keep having faith and hope and hold that vision in our heart and know what is possible for humanity. There's been many civilizations, even on Earth, if you look at Lemuria and Atlantis, that had these thriving, higher consciousness civilizations, and other planets that have also been through the ascension process, that are in the field helping us, guiding us, supporting us in ways that they can. And so that is how awakening can end and cure suffering. And it's not an overnight thing. It's an ongoing thing. And it really takes each individual to go within and have that self-responsibility and willingness to open and really listen to their heart and the calling of their soul, because it's really this integrating the mind with the heart more and more, tuning into this place of such wisdom. It's like a portal to our connection to Source, rather than just being up here in our heads. And that's the thing. I know meditation has been a huge part of my life and my awakening and gaining my wisdom. And people throughout history, meditation, being in stillness, so we can open up to receive more. Because if we are so much in our heads and it's a constant busyness, we're constantly doing, then how is there space and the opportunity to realize who we truly are able to arise? That's why stillness, silence, just being is so important, so we can create that space to expand our consciousness and know who we truly are. It's so powerful, and it can sound so simple, and it completely can change your life. But a lot of people don't, because they think there's more important things that they should be doing. They're in that chase, and that's all part of the conditioning and programming of society. And it's sometimes those people who point the fingers at the governments and at other people and who blame, put the blame on others for things going wrong, for things not going right. And it really only represents their own resistance to their self, their battle they're having with discovering who they truly are. And so this video is a message to create space for your awakening, to just be in presence and see what happens with no expectation. And be more conscious as you go out in the world, in your life. Choose to see through the eyes of God. Choose to see through the eyes of love. Choose to see through a higher aspect of you. Because you want to experience love. You want to experience wholeness. You want to experience more of who you truly are. And as a collective, and being a part of humanity on the earth in this lifetime, you chose to be here in this pivotal transformational time. And there's something within you that knows that, and you're just trying to remember, okay, what is my place in all this? And it's just understanding your heart and what you feel called to do and be. How can you be of service? How can you ease the suffering of those in the world? How can you assist? That's what we truly desire. We want to help others. We want to help ourselves. We want love and joy to permeate this world and ourselves. And it's beautiful. You can have all the money in the world. You can have all the positions in the world. But if you don't have peace within you, if you don't have love within your heart, then what's the point? Much love.